Do you take time to identify the tasks you have to complete that following day or week? A lot of us do. Is it really working for you, though? I want to present some alternative approaches. Hi, I'm Peter Nichol, Data Science CIO. When you think about how to kick off your week, a lot of us sit down and try to articulate what activities we have to focus on or complete that following week. That's pretty normal. The challenge is we start to get a false sense of productivity. If we have 15 different tasks and we complete 10, we think, wow, we're 2/3 the way through or 66% in change completed on a lot of those initiatives. But the reality is we didn't really weight those tasks in our to-do list based on either priority maybe or the time it takes to complete it. So while 10 of 15 activities may be completed, maybe 50 or 70% of the time we need to spend on those activities is in the remaining 5. There's a new approach I want to present. And one of the concepts that I want to start with is the idea of procrastination. When we think of procrastination, a lot of times we think of maybe somebody sitting on a couch eating a bag of chips or vegging out watching Netflix, walking around the house, having snacks, not really being all that effective. But there's another side of procrastination, and it's called productive procrastination. The idea behind this is that you're doing something, it's just not really adding to what you're trying to accomplish. Some examples might be attending meetings. So you have back-to-back meetings all day. But when you really look at what you accomplish on that day or week, you haven't really made any real progress on your goals or objectives. Or maybe you're doing something that's kind of busy work. It's independent and you don't need to collaborate or work with a team, update a spreadsheet or do a executive brief that you need to do anyways. But you spend a little bit extra time on it because it's easy and you can do it by yourself. These might be useful, but they ultimately don't get towards your objective, which is your ultimate goal. And while you feel like you're being productive, you're actually not. Brian Tracy, a productivity and self-development author, came up with a new concept. It's called the ABCDE method. And in this method, he prioritizes the most important activities to the least important and then identifies activities he can eliminate and does this every day. A activities are activities that have to be completed and have a hard deadline or date to complete on them. B activities are important, but they don't necessarily have a hard date. C activities are typically what we spend our time on, which are activities that don't have a date necessarily. They might be important, might not, but ultimately they're very easy to check off. And as a result, we spend a lot of time feeling good completing these level of activities. D activities are activities that don't really belong anywhere. They don't have a priority. They don't really have a hard date. They're kind of nice to haves. And E activities are activities we want to eliminate. A lot of times when we spend focus on E activities, we're trying to identify how we free up our time. Maybe we can delegate to another team leader or subordinate, or you can focus on how to automate some of the activities that you do on a day-to-day basis. So as you jump into your week, think about potentially using the ABCDE method to prioritize your activities for the week and see if you gain some productivity. Hi, I'm Peter Nichol, Data Science CIO. Have a great week.